Kirishima and Bakugo get hit by a mysterious quirk, not really knowing what it did while they were walking home together. The outcome of the mysterious quirk was unpredictable. They didn't know what the quirk did to them. The quirk manifested when they slept. They both woke up to a burning sensation in their bodies. What was the quirk exactly? They didn't know. All they knew is that they can't be apart for a long period of time. This story will include angst, fluff, comedy, and cursing. Please enjoy. Finally out of school, Kirishima says, stretching his back out. He heard a satisfying crack in his back and relaxed. Bakugo just grunted as a result, looking down at his phone to choose some music to listen to. Him and Kirishima both had got after-school detention. 2 different reasons as well. Kirishima was being disruptive in class and Bakugo was about to kill a copycat. After an hour of after-school detention, the 2 were given a warning and left. The sun was setting and the multicolor sky was mesmerizing. Kirishima stared at the sky and took in the beautiful sight of nature. He then heard dull music coming from beside him. The younger turned his head and Xiao, the blonde, with both of his earplugs in. Kirishima pouted slightly and rolled his eyes. He didn't really like when Bakugo listened to music. It made him feel a bit lonely. It felt as if he was being annoyed and neglected. He put his hands in his pockets and stared in front of him. Okay, I guess I could daydream a bit, but about what? There's not much I can daydream about. I wonder what Ma cooked. I'm hoping it's steak. My mouth is watering at the thought. Kirishima felt his stomach grumbling and he sighed in defeat. He made himself hungry. Fantastic. Him and Bakugo weren't even halfway to the park. You weren't near it yet, so the redhead will just have to be patient. Kirishima was startled when he felt a light tap on his shoulder. He turned his head and saw Bakugo holding out one of his earplugs. Kirishima smiled widely and grabbed the earplug from Bakugo. Thanks, man, Kirishima says, putting the earplug in his ear. He immediately heard classical music playing. It was quite shocking that Bakugo listened to nice classical music. Kirishima thought he would listen to rock or rap. Didn't take you as a classical music guy, said Kirishima. Bakugo glared at the young one and said, you know what, if you don't want to listen to it, then just give it the fuck back. I didn't say I didn't want to listen to it. I'm just in shock that you listen to this category of music, Kirishima says, lifting his hand to try to calm the hostile blonde down. It seemed to have worked since he only got a tisk as a response. Bakugo can be sensitive at times. I should watch what I say. He is a bit cute when he's flustered. Oh, the park's up ahead, Kirishima says, pointing ahead of them. Bakugo didn't seem to care at all. He didn't need Kirishima to tell him what he can already fucking see. The 2 walked to the park in silence. Kirishima pulled out the earplug and handed it to Bakugo. See you tomorrow, man, Kirishima said with a smile. Bakugo grunted and nodded his head. Maybe they could part ways. They heard a lady yell thief. Kirishima turned his head and saw someone running past him, bumping into him and knocking him into Bakugo's body. Hey, watch where the hell you're going, fucker, Bakugo hollered at the person running with a bag in their hand. He helped Kirishima regain his posture and immediately the redhead dashed after the person. Shitty hair, where the hell are you fucking going? Bakugo yelled, running after the redhead. Kirishima saw the person run down the street and made a hard left. He followed in suit and hit the wall with his shoulder, trying to catch up with the person. The redhead saw the person stop and frantically look around for an escape. When Kirishima saw they had no escape, he grinned. Looks like you don't got anywhere to go, Kirishima says. He got himself into a battle stance to prepare him for whatever they were going to do. Shitty hair, where the fuck were you going? Kirishima turned his head around and saw the blonde huffing with his hands on his knees. He turned his head back to the person and saw them with glowy hands. That person stole something from that lady who was yelling, remember? Once Bakugo caught his breath, he stood by Kirishima's side, getting into a battle stance. Kirishima put his hand in front of Bakugo. You can't do anything, Bakugo. Shut the fuck up. The person had a grin on their face and they formed a bright ball in their hand. While Kirishima and Bakugo were distracted, they threw the bright ball at them. Bakugo noticed the glowing ball instantly, but he couldn't move to dodge it for some reason. The illuminating glow coming from the ball had both him and Kirishima in a trance. They both ended up getting hit by it, and the blast of the ball had sent them both flying into a dumpster. "Fuck," Bakugo exclaimed, immediately feeling the rush of pain in his back. Kirishima mumbled a quiet shit and tried to stand on his feet, failing miserably. Bakugo managed to recover quickly and shot a quick explosion at the mysterious person. The explosion hit the person and made them drop the bag. Bakugo waited for the smoke to clear up, and when the person was no longer there, the only thing that there was a bag they were holding. Bakugo limped over to the bag and picked it up. His back was arching in pain. "What just happened, and where did the fucker go?" he mumbled. Kirishima groaned lowly and stood up weakly. The glowing ball caught him by surprise and he couldn't dodge it. "But Bakugo?" Bakugo turned around and saw his best friend injured, somewhat worse than him. "Dumbass, why didn't you harden?" Bakugo asked tenderly. He made his way over to Kirishima and let the redhead put his arm around his shoulder to help support him. "I couldn't control my quirk," Kirishima answers quietly. "I couldn't move to dodge it either. Besides, I could be asking you the same thing." "Same fucking thing," Bakugo grumbled. They both walked out of the dark area and back into the light. They saw a middle-aged woman staring at them worriedly. She had black long hair and beautiful brown skin. Her eyes were a gorgeous hazel. She made her way over to the two teens and stared at them worriedly. "I heard an explosion. Are you two boys okay?" she asked gently. "All good." Kirishima lifts his thumb up weakly and smiled. She took the bag from Bakugo and held it out to her. "Here you go, miss." "Thank you so much," she says with happy tears. She took the bag and opened it to see if her items were still in the bag, and they were. "How can I ever repay you both?" "There's no need for that. We're fine." Kirishima waves her off with a smile. "Let me at least give you guys money for your bravery and kindness." "Nope, we were doing what heroes in training would do." The woman smiled and hugged them both tightly. Bakugo was about to blow up before Kirishima gave him a look and a short shake of his head. "Thank you both again." She bowed down. "No need to thank us again, miss." Kirishima chuckled nervously. He was a little bit uncomfortable, but he can understand where the lady was coming from. "Your bags. You both dropped them at the park." "Oh shit," Bakugo mumbled. "Are they still there?" Kirishima asked. The brown-skinned lady pushed a strand of her hair out of her face and answers, "Probably, but you both should hurry to see if they are there, though. I would have brought them with me, but I heard an explosion and got worried." "Are you okay? We'll be on our way. Let's go, Bakugo." Kirishima interrupts his feisty friend and nudges Bakugo to start walking. Bakugo rolled his eyes and started walking with Kirishima leaning on him. Kirishima waved the nice lady goodbye and watched her wave back with a soft smile on her face. "You didn't have to fucking interrupt me." Bakugo glared at the redhead. "If I didn't, you would have said something offensive. Come on, let's just get our bags and go home. I'm tired." Bakugo silently agreed, and they both made their way to the park. Their bags were still on the ground. They both were extremely grateful no one finessed their shit. Bakugo picked up both of his and Kirishima's bag. "Will you be able to walk home alone?" Bakugo asked, handing the younger his bag. Kirishima took it and nodded. "Yeah, I'll be fine. We should spar again. I gotta work on a lot of stuff." "I second that." "Hey!" Bakugo smirked a little and patted Kirishima's head. "See you tomorrow, shitty hair." "Bye, Bakugo." Little did they know that the glowy ball made things a lot more difficult for the two. This just took an unexpected turn.